Hello everyone and welcome to TCG News. This video is actually going to be the first TCG News segment we actually have, oddly enough. Project K has been officially announced by Riot Games, and it's a physical TCG. And of course, I guess we wouldn't have mentioned it if it wasn't. However, when you think of a League of Legends physical TCG, what exactly do you think of? For me, it's a physical rendition of Legends of Runeterra, which is a stunning game, as with everything Riot makes, to be honest. It has amazing artwork, animation, flow, and it looks great, it feels great, everything about it is great. This is not the case with Project K. And now I know I'm gonna butcher these names, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at it, but the executive producer Chengren Kai and the game director of Project K, Dave Cuskin, has decided it'd be better to slap Legends of Runeterra out of the playing field completely and design their very own game, which is normally honestly really good. It could be cool until you see what they decided to go with. Alrighty, are y'all ready for this? Let's hit the drum roll. This screams cash grab. The game looks like something a child created in Photoshop, or honestly, it looks like they grabbed some random person off the street and they sat them down and they were like, this is a Photoshop program, make us a game. It's wow. It uses the artwork from various IPs. They literally just copy and paste that. The template of the cards are very, very simplistic, very minimum, and do not go with the overall art style of the IP at all. To include Arcane, to include the video games, to include everything is wrong with the template, with the overlay, with the UI, whatever you want to call it. You have Tencent, the massive, nearly monopolizing conglomerate backing Riot Games, which themselves are a billion-dollar company, and they make bangers after bangers with everything, not just games, but their music, their video games, League of Legends, Valorant, TFT, to their hit series that has become essentially a household name, Arcane, is all absolutely amazing, just phenomenal. And then you have this train wreck of I don't even know what to call it. But yeah, I digress. It doesn't match the core artwork of anything in the absolute slightest. The core graphics being ripped from the normal game, I completely understand. Don't fix what's not broken. But man, do I not like the actual overlay itself. It looks like a modernized Uno card to me, just with graphics. Look at this. Why is any of this being used right now? It looks like they wanted to copy Magic the Gathering with their element-based whatever, but didn't know how to put it all together. Light blue and bright yellow with a white semi-transparent overlay for the text on full art cards. If you're gonna make it full art, look at the games that did it right and go off of what actually works instead of what this attempt is, whatever it actually is. Also, don't get me started on the back of the decks. I personally would have loved to see the original 2009 backdrop and font for something physical. I think going old school, especially for a TCG, would have done them a lot more justice than this overly simplistic take that they decided to go with. And now you can't complain without having an actual solution. So as a comparison, this took me about 5 minutes to include literally photoshopping images from the actual video game's UI to make a quick template for the card game. After asking a few people who haven't seen the card announcement at all, they all unanimously said that this one is better on everything, to include looking at it, reading the text, everything. 5 minutes in Photoshop Photoshop has this card design looking better than the multi-billion-dollar company that made the actual cards. I'm not Goku, but I'm just saying this shouldn't be the case at all. Alright, I know I said a lot and completely trashed the art side of things, so let's delve into the actual gameplay, as that is what really matters with any card game whatsoever. There wasn't a lot, actually, to be displayed. It looks like a standard hero, champion, commander styled gameplay where the main champion you choose will essentially have you playing a specific structured deck. They did work on making it multiplayer outside of your standard 1v1, whilst allowing 1v1 duels to still happen, which is honestly something a lot of modern TCGs don't have as a core gameplay mechanic. That's all they really showed with the combat itself, so there's not too much to go off of. They need to have this top notch though, in my honest opinion, in order to make up for that absolute disaster of a template they're using for the cards though. They boast about having their game in all local stores as well as competitive scenes, not only global but once again at all local storefronts as well. This sounds good in theory, and I actually already have a plan for this for Pixicree personally. However, they do not have a production company outside of China. They're planning on launching a staggered launch, releasing content for China first, and then they will figure it out as they go. They're an absolute powerhouse in the gaming industry, and their card game could absolutely be completely massive and could easily become one of the top card games. I'm talking about becoming like the top 4. However, they haven't reached out to various large companies that are known to be able to handle this sort of production cost. Reach out to the companies. Cartamundi, or however you say it, for example. They make Magic the Gathering. They make Monopoly, Uno, Pokemon. I mean, reach out to the people that make the best stuff. What? I don't know. It seems like they have no idea what they're doing at all to me. There's just so many flaws in this game thus far, and it was like a 4-minute video, and it doesn't even have an actual name yet. I do not have high hopes for this despite being head over heels a die-hard Riot fan. But hey, don't worry about the fact that they have no game plan. You can pre-order the Arcane exclusive box set next year without any release date or a roadmap whatsoever. I know I essentially trashed everything about this game, but that is their entire launch teaser. You can find it in the description below and decide for yourself. It honestly looks like a complete and utter train wreck. Riot, you should really look into people before hiring them. This just screams poor planning, poor management, and I greatly hope you can rework nearly everything with this game. Look at how little people are actually hyped for the game. Look at how many people have actively communicated how bad it is. Don't shut it down. Please don't shut it down. Just either get a new team, I'd work for you, or get involved and rework everything that the community collectively agrees is just not it with this game. Alrighty, thank y'all so much for watching this video. Let me know how you actually like the TCG news segment. If you do, I'll keep it up. I'll actually start looking up like new card games and stuff like that outside of what I've been doing and everything else. If you do like it, please show support, comment below, give me a like, do all the other stuff YouTube forces everyone to do now in order to actually get this video out there. And thank y'all so much for watching.